Okay, good morning, guys. How are you today? I hope all of you are in a good condition. Just stay safe and follow health protocols. Okay, for today's meeting, this is our third meeting, and we are going to discuss about the representation topic that represented by this picture. Okay, on the right side is a symbolization of scientists, and the left side is a symbolization of religion. Okay, the questions for today's meeting is science and religion. Are they friends or foes? Are they friends or enemies? Okay. But first, we need to start with the first first statement. Here. The science and religion have different sources of knowledge, and but the difference is the sources of scientific knowledge are the result of observation and logic, especially empirical observation and logical reasoning. And religious knowledge, in the other hand, is transcendental, which means that this knowledge is beyond reach of human senses and human mind. Only several humans that can be understand this or can acquire this knowledge, because that humans that some of that several humans could or given by God, yeah, the extraordinary reasoning, because this knowledge, the transcendental knowledge, cannot be understood by an ordinary reasoning. So our next question: what is the difference between scientific and religious perspective? What's different? Uh, First, we need to start from the religious perspective. According to religious perspective, the physical world is not the only reality, and God is exists as another reality in which the orders of nature depends. And God has interest in goodness. Yeah, this expresses a plan or a main purpose of God. God also has interest in order, and it includes His interest in man or human. And this human or man has a special position in creation. Just like God, man exists in nature, but man is special and cannot be reduced to nature. And if someone wants to understand the religious perspective, that one need to know first is God's purpose. Yeah. What is the purpose of God behind every event? Because all events, according to religious perspective, has one single purpose. Yeah. That is God's purpose. Okay, this is the picture that could represent about the religious perspective. This, the big hand is the one that draw, yeah, that draw the path of human. I think that is the hand of God, yeah, just like Maradona, Diego Armando, that using hand of God to make a goal to the England goals, yeah, in World Cup 1986. Okay, next, the scientific perspective. According to the scientific perspective, yeah, the world is not a mess. The world is not chaos. Yeah. There has to be a logical explanation, yeah, for the existence of every object and the occurrence of all events. Order is a predictable sequences among events, And science is the intellectual venture of man, which discipline in observation and logic. And there has to be a cause in every event, and the same cause always produces the same effect. However, it doesn't always mean that all events are the part of one causal order. So the main part of the scientific perspective is observation and logic, especially the uh, logical reason. So this is the picture that could symbolize about scientific perspective: material, hypothesis, procedure, conclusion. For example, like this, yeah, the event of someone writing a book about philosophy of religion. This activity or this event definitely has a set of causes, such as, for example, like probably that one really likes to write about philosophy of religion, or probably the publisher asks that one to write a book about philosophy of religion. However, if the reader of the book of that book about philosophy of religion is influenced by the writing, it is not necessarily causally related to the reason that caused the author or the writer to write a book on philosophy of religion. So this is the okay. The next is the picture that could symbolize about our previous explanation, previous slide. This is the writer in the right side, and also the reader in the left side. So probably the writer has the activity of writing by the writer has different cause with the activity of reading by the reader. Okay. Next is which knowledge that can give us the truth? Is it religious knowledge or scientific? Okay, that is questions. Okay, the truth is the question mark and also the word truth. Okay, scientists scientists have made a systematic procedure that can be used by all human beings to explain several events by making them that events, yeah, a specific manifestation of broader laws. And the scientific perspective has basically shown that there is much more constancy and regularity than humans can imagine. However, if the scientists or philosophers said that all events are part of one causal system, that scientist or that philosopher is going beyond evidence. Okay, okay, just like this in the simple words, yeah. And the scientist or the one who practice the scientific method, yeah, they have made a systematic procedure, yeah, that can be used by all human beings. And one single event is the manifestation of broader laws. For example, like one apple falls from tree, and the rock falls from the mountain, and that is according to the scientific perspective is the manifestation of the broader law, which called the law of gravitation or the law of the gravity law. And in the scientific perspective, yeah, the nature has much more constancies. The nature is constant. Is There is a regularity in the nature, and that regularity call or name as the laws of nature. Okay, this is the illustration of the scientific method. There is observation, questions, research, hypothesis, experiment, data, and conclusion. Okay, and the religious perspective assumes that various events in the world are God's plan. God is the one who responsible for the order in the world, and all of the events in the world leading to one goal, namely God's purpose, and only God is the one who know uh, His purpose. This is called the teleological perspective. And basically, religious and scientific perspectives are two ways to explain events. And the scientific perspective think that if humans wants to be safe, the human has to understand, master the laws of nature. So, according to the religious perspective, in the other hand, it is important to understand the purpose of events, which is God's plan. So, scientific, the laws of nature is the important things that needs to be known. A religious perspective, God's plan, God's purpose of all events. Yeah. God's purpose behind all events. Okay, this is a picture that could represent. This, the iron hand is science. This is on the right side is God's hand, I think. Okay, in conclusion, religion and science are the result of human efforts or human endeavors to seek truth and adequate explanation for various events. Both religion and science have influenced the course of human life. And if we only rely on one, uh, it means that we are denying the broad areas of human experience, because religion also the part of human experience, and the part of human effort to understand the world, or the universe. Okay. So if you only rely on science or religion, and then we are denying the broad areas of human experience. Okay, this is the references. Yeah, one of my writing in Indonesian language. If you couldn't understand Indonesian, I think you could use the translate feature in your browser. And the second is the link that uses English. I think, yeah, English language. And the third is the book by Peter Anthony Bertocci. The title is Introduction to the Philosophy of Religion. Okay. Okay, this is the questions that could guide our discussion for today. First is, has science killed God? And the second is, can human be a scientist and also believe in God? Okay, we could discuss about these two questions in the Google Meet session. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention. Yeah. Until the next meeting. Uh, Good morning. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye.